Okay, so let's welcome Amanda Lewis and Scott Harvey with Skar Encounters from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Yay. This is actually take 2 of this interview. That dang Bigfoot got in the way, and we had to cancel yesterday. It was a horrible situation.
At least we're better pierced this time, so it works.
Yes. Why don't you guys tell us about your crew?
Take it away. Well, we got started in April of this year. Our first trip was Kosciuszko County Jail and Museum. At the time, it was me, him, Kelly, and our previous team member, Ricky. We all just kind of decided to do it as a thing, as friends, just going there. And it kind of skyrocketed from there. We really enjoyed doing it. And at some point after all of it was done, we went out to eat and just kind of decided to make it a thing and try to come up with a name for it. So we
actually went out to eat before we got there, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, if my memory serves me right now that I think about it, was before.
Yeah, on the drive home, we actually is when we got the name. And then I think the next day we had a Facebook page.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know, we were just kind of trying to think of ideas and stuff of what to call our team. And so, you know, we just kind of thought, okay, let's just take everybody's first letter, their first name, and make it Skar Encounters. So.
Well, yeah, something that sticks, too.
Yeah, for sure. So we just kind of did that, and one thing after another happened. I ended up making a page for our team. You know, we started putting short little clips of things that we, you know, encountered when we were there, and from there I just kind of did a lot of social networking to bring a lot more people in. And
yes.
Then, you know, obviously at some point I kind of realized the difference between having a page and an interactive group. So I kind of split the two to where the page is for showing like our events and, you know, if people want to attend events that we may be going to, anything that we did with the team. And then the group is more for people that are interested in the paranormal, even, you know, skeptics. We accept skeptics, believers, you know, anybody that has interest, and then other team members as well. You know, we love being able to interact and get ideas from them, and, you know, just I enjoy being able to have a group and communicate with everybody.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
skeptics are my favorite.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, skeptics that won't do, I say feared skeptics, the skeptics that fear it.
Yeah.
Because you're a skeptic, so am I, but we don't fear it. We're like, okay, let's go figure this shit out.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a difference. Those other ones, they're fun.
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It does make it more interesting, especially when, you know, you have people on your team or just other team members that, you know, you got some that are full unbelievers, some that are in between, and then others that are complete skeptics. Makes things interesting to have it that way.
Yes, viewing things from all angles.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nice. And like I said, I mean, we've only been doing this thing for, you know, earlier this year, and I feel like we've been doing pretty great for...
You guys are.
Since April. And really...
proud.
Oh, yeah. We're pretty proud of it. And, you know, of course we appreciate the support from, you know, you, your team, and everybody that's on stage in our group. And, I mean, it's great.
Actually, and as of today, we have a new member.
Yay. I was going to bring that up. I Facebook stalk you guys.
That's all right. No, I knew him years and years ago, and we just kind of reconnected. And he actually helped me bring in this couch over here.
I see your kitty.
Yeah, you might see a ferret or two running around as well. That's why I keep looking down. They keep coming over by my feet.
I love it. That's so cute.
He actually, after helping carry that massive couch into the apartment, he sat down and we kind of did a little talk about it, and he's like, well, I'll buy a camera right now. And he did. He sat down on our computer and, paid for a, $300 camera. Had it shipped here. Whenever it gets here, he's like, do whatever you guys need to do with it.
Nice.
So he's awesome help already.
Yeah.
And then he took dinner at Red Robin, so we have nice
Dang.
Yeah.
You guys should have called me. I would have came down.
Yeah, he was going to buy a recorder, too, but we're like, hold up.
Yeah.
Baby steps. Yeah.
Yeah, and aside from him, we have another person that we're going to be having on the team. We're going to kind of meet up with him in person. It's actually going to be on Friday night. We'll meet up and talk with him, and things seem to be going really good with him. He seems like a good fit for us also, so that's going to be another addition. So now he's not going to feel like the only dude anymore in the team. We'll have two extra guys. It'll definitely help out, and, it's nice to be able to have people that will be dedicated as well and help contribute to the team. You got to have that,
Oh, for sure.
So nobody's left hanging and scrounging for money and stuff to be able to get equipment and go on trips. It definitely helps out.
Always fun to do that.
Sure.
That's full of sarcasm there.
This field is not cheap, that's for sure.
That it is not. I got grounded from buying any more equipment. She's
close. She's getting close.
Yes, it was because first it was all the podcasting equipment. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to give you an allowance. Okay. And then I was like, oh, I need an investigating crew, so I'm going to need this, and this. I had to hide that in the trunk for a while. It was a good time.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm constantly having that on my mind,
Impulses.
If it's not doing something with social networking or creating like graphic design type of stuff for the website.
Eye poppers.
Things like that. I mean, I'm always thinking about, man, what's the next piece of equipment to get for us? What's the next destination we want to go to? In fact, I mean, we're discussing having our newer guy, Jared, coming to Prospect with us this weekend. So that might end up happening, It'll be a nice first, time chance for him to end up coming and experiencing that.
And it'll be, honestly, as far as I know, it's his first investigation.
Yeah.
And we're throwing him right into Prospect Place, so that could be very interesting.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like he shakes very easily, though. He seems kind of rigid, I guess.
Yeah, he's like a pretty calm, collected guy, so I would actually find it quite entertaining to see him get scared.
Right. It's time to throw him in, both feet first. Yeah. That's the best way to do it, and then you guys can see how y'all are going to work together, too. So
yeah,
it's good.
For sure. Definitely. I think it'll be a good fit with both of these guys, though, for sure. And we've been discussing more upcoming events to try to set up with.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Another one coming up that we're looking into is for September.
Depending.
September, I think.
It's variable right now. We've talked a little bit with the crew, and there's one member that might not be able to make it on one day, and then the other day that's available, we have another one that might not be able to make it. So it's up in the air, but it is the Octagon Hall in Kentucky.
Okay, that's awesome.
So we're trying, it's in the works.
Yeah. Now, how many people do you have in your crew?
After this coming Friday, when Richard is inducted, I guess, we will have 7.
7.
4 ladies and 3 men.
Okay. And so we have 8, and I found it, it's kind of nice to have 8, especially like if you're going to these different places, because let's say you just had 3 or 4, 2 of them couldn't go, Right. And it's like, oh my gosh, at least, as far as the team goes, you guys can still go and it sucks when people can't go, but at the same time,
that way for sure.
Yeah.
But we try to meet in the middle with everybody and make it work, and if we have to reschedule certain things, but then like you said, there's just going to be, regardless, some situations where some people just can't go, and we we can't always make it happen to where we have to continue to wait until everybody can go. So
yeah, because that will never happen.
Yeah, we're hoping, though, with this one, it's a pretty awesome location. If you haven't looked it up yet, I would highly suggest it.
Okay, awesome.
Just place with a lot of history. It's been on the Travel Channel, History Channel?
All of them.
I think. Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Sci-fi, A&E, Discovery, History, Travel, all of them.
Yeah, it's a pretty, and it's a pretty freaking affordable, especially for people that have at our amount of people on, the team.
Right.
It's very affordable.
I'll have to look into that. I actually have relatives down there in Kentucky.
Yeah, it's
look into that.
Right near Bowling Green, Kentucky, I believe.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. Drink break.
Yeah, we both kind of did that. Oh, he's got to advertise his Kyle drink.
I'm not advertising.
I try to get him off that horrible stuff. Ugh.
Kyle drink, that's funny.
Yeah, we just, pretty much what we try to do is schedule ahead of time so that we keep busy,
Yes.
We try to work it to where it's on weekends that I don't have my daughter, since basically me and her father basically share custody, so every other weekend, the weekends that she's with her dad are the weekends that we try to schedule to go places. And since everybody else on the team that has kids, they're all old enough and out of the house, they don't have or anything, it makes it a lot easier for our team to just kind of work around, my schedule with her.
Right, for sure.
So it's nice, so it kind of works, every other weekend each month. So at least twice each month we try to book to go somewhere.
Right. Yeah, well, you also definitely got to take that time, that family time. I'm learning that.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we've had situations before where we had an opportunity to go somewhere, and it was the only time we really could do it, and it happened to be a weekend that I had my daughter or something. So usually what I would do is, I just have her kind of during the day or something, and then later on towards the night when it's time to go to that place, with my parents or her, dad. So, we make it work. I still get my family time. We all get time with her, and then on the side, we do our thing. So we're normal human beings, we got jobs, got things to do. Even if our minds are consumed with doing this, which it really is. But sometimes, I'm sure you experience that too. You gotta take a break once in a while, or you just get
all the time. Well, that's actually why I'm happy that I met you guys, because now I can talk to you and you know what the heck I'm trying to say or whatever.
Yeah.
When I try to talk paranormal to anybody else, they don't want to hear it. Or they want to ask me questions, Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the moment we hear somebody talk about something with ghosts or paranormal, we're like immediately all into the conversation.
And what was that? Was that?
Yeah.
Yep. I know I keep trying to get my boss, because sometimes we have slow times at work, and I'm like, because they had 2 maintenance guys die right in the maintenance room. Now, they don't have maintenance anymore. He refuses to get any more maintenance guys. He thinks that it's jinxed. But weird stuff happens at the shop.
Yeah.
All the time. And I keep asking, just let us come in here. Just let, oh, no, you're going to wake up something bad. You're going to wake up something bad. And I'm like, I wish you understood.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of fun. Now, what got you guys into paranormal? You knew that question was coming. Come
on. I kind of watched it when I was young, just on TV and stuff like that. My mom had always told me stuff that had happened to her. The house that she grew up in was riddled with activity. It was built in, I want to say, 1830. My mother lived there from the time she was a child until she moved out, and in fact, up until 2 years ago, probably more like 5 years ago, my grandfather still actually lived there. Sold the house. I thought they demolished it because it was in some pretty bad shape, but I actually just drove by last year, and it was just remodeled. All kinds of claims.
I'm gonna kill your cat.
That's actually
Already scratching the crap out of our couch.
Sorry.
Debut.
I thought it was fair. Claims of like a closet door, like when you shut it at night and lock it, it'll always be open. Now they were kids in the 70s, the 60s.
Right.
So Ouija boards were definitely brought into the house on a few different occasions. A lot of different claims. My mom having full body apparitions coming, into her bedroom, multiple occasions. My grandfather lived there for over 40 years, but he never admitted to, encountering anything.
Oh, yeah, especially back then.
Yeah. I heard all those stories, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I've never encountered anything. I've never seen anything that I can't explain or heard anything that I can't say is paranormal.
Okay.
And, watching all the stuff on TV, I'm like, man, these people are getting paid. Like, I wonder, are they just slipping a little bit in here and there or exaggerating this or...
I'm sure it happens.
That door or anything like that. And it's like, then you actually do get into the field and you hear that some people do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, well, screw it. Let's just get our own team. I got some questions that need answered, so...
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of where I came to it at. And, we had started dating almost a year ago, and it was like we started watching just paranormal shows on TV and all kinds of other stuff. And before we knew it, we watched like every episode of Ghost Adventures.
Literally every episode, and then we're like, "What do we do now?"
And that sucks when you end a show.
You
invest so much of yourself, and it feels like you got a relationship with those people, and then you're sad, and it's like you said, what do you do?
We don't have cable, so we know there's Ghost Adventures, but it's like we got to go to like a team member's house or my parents just to be able to watch it. So, yeah, we just basically stick with our Netflix and Amazon Prime and all that kind of stuff and see what we can get. But yeah, I mean, on the same topic, with what got us started on this, for me, it was more so, I mean, growing up, me and my mom would actually always watch anything that was like related to the paranormal, to crime, like serial killer type stuff. We both just naturally had those, I guess, a morbid mind where we got into that stuff.
So many people do, they won't admit it.
So me and her always had a thing, we'd always watch it almost every night, together. It'd be like before I'd go to bed for, school the next morning.
Right.
We'd stay awake, watching shows like that. And so that fascinated me right away, getting into watching these shows. And, what helped too is, during my younger teenage years, we, lived at this house where we kind of thought, maybe there was something going on in there, some unexplainable things.
Right.
For one, just underneath my floor in my room, would always hear what sounded like, an animal or something running across, the crawl space. It always seemed to happen underneath in my room. Nobody else in the family seemed to ever hear it except for me. And there's just a time my brother and I were in my room, and out of nowhere he heard the same noise, and he just kind of stopped for a second and was like, "Is that what you're talking about, that noise?" Immediately we told, our dad, and he went into the crawl space. Couldn't find any openings with any animal to be able to have any entry in there. No feces, no, trails of animal paws or anything down there. No cobwebs. And it took no more than about a week or something until I still was hearing that noise underneath my floor. And then it wasn't so much other than that. I didn't have too many experiences personally, but I know my brother and mom did. My mom actually stopped sleeping with her feet hanging off the outside of the bed because she actually felt cold hands squeeze her toes. And so she just stopped that. And ever since she told me that, I never have my feet hanging off the bed ever.
Nope.
And my brother, he had experiences, where he was laying in bed and listening to music on some headphones, fell asleep, the music stopped, he heard a really loud whisper saying his name right by his ear, and he opened up his eyes and nobody was there. Another experience, where he saw a woman coming out of his closet and standing there looking at him, and then just walked out like into the bathroom. So just little random situations like that were going on, and we don't really know the history on the house, so I almost feel like we should look up if there was anything, like if anybody got killed or just died of natural causes there. Really made me wonder. But and then I guess the only other experience I could think of that would have got me into this too is I remember when I was much younger, and when my grandma was still alive, she liked to flip houses a lot. Mm-hmm. She would have a habit of buying old beat-up houses, fixing them up and selling them, but she would buy them in, like, not good areas of town.
Right.
She bought this really big, it was a big, beautiful brick house, and apparently the family all died in there. The house was on fire at one point. And my mom had told me about that, and I remember we went to go visit there for the first time, and I, being a curious little girl, I just kind of walked around the whole house while they stayed downstairs. Right. And I remember going upstairs, and I went in one of these bedrooms, and kind of like the noise those windows make when you got a lot of wind going on, like the whistling noise.
Yeah.
I was kind of hearing something like that, and it just kind of caught my eye, and I went into this one particular room, and I was being nosy. I was just kind of looking at my grandma's old jewelry and stuff.
Well, of course. That's what you're supposed to do.
Like, the window wasn't open or anything. It was actually shut, but, because of that wind, it had a little bit of that going on, and I remember that door actually shut, and I remember freaking out because when I tried to open the door, it would not open. It was like something locked it, and I freaked out, and I remember I was yelling for my mom to, come upstairs and open this freaking door, and I remember it at least took a good minute or two for me to even get that door to open, but that house, creeped me out after that. I didn't like going. Yeah. And, I mean, that's a very vague type of memory that I have, but I do remember it because it scared the living shit out of me.
Yeah. Of course, being little.
But, and I don't know. Like I said, I feel like so many people in my family have had experiences, and not so much me. So that's one thing that I like being in this field is being able to go to these places and try to, experience. And I want to see a full body apparition. I have yet to see that. I want to be touched by a spirit. I want those experiences, and I'm sure he wants the same with being a skeptic and everything.
Right. Try to get some answers and see if it's really out there. Now, I already know your favorite location. That was your first one that you guys did, right?
I would say so to this point. Yeah.
Right now, I'm sure that'll change. No doubt. I'm sure there's a place. I mean, in fact, I'm even thinking right now, Prospect Place is probably going to be my next favorite. If not the first favorite to go to, but the ferret's going in his shoes right now.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Yeah, that's Dahlia.
That's Dahlia. My gosh.
One.
She looks so big on there.
She's just a little baby. Well, kind of. A year-old.
What a sweetie.
Go play. Well, I know another thing we were talking about was I think you mentioned kind of like our beliefs if we go, if we have any religious beliefs or if we go by, science when it comes to
right. Well, I know, some people more on the spiritual side where they are full-on believers, and then you got the complete skeptics that are like, okay, let's bring science into it. Now, where do you guys fall on that?
Yeah.
I'm complicated. being probably the only Christian that I know that believes in evolution. I believe in the possibility of a spiritual realm.
Okay.
Aside from, like, what happens at death, like, heaven or hell, the Christian belief. I do believe in that. Do I believe it's instantaneous? No.
Okay.
I more or less believe in kind of this lull, this time period where, like a purgatory, basically. But
Yes.
it's necessarily like the common belief of purgatory. It's like just this state of being in between, creation and judgment. And judgment being the last day where you're like, okay, well, now your spot that was reserved for either heaven or hell, part your ways, now you're going.
Right.
It's super weird, but that's why I'm in the field, because, like, I want to know.
Well, it's good, though. It's good to have that curiosity and just not stop yourself because of your religious belief. And that's great that you still hold on to your faith, but you want to, I don't want to say, you want to know if there's more. And that's great. That's great.
Yeah. And in the same sense, I can kind of relate, too, because, like, I guess with me, it's quite the opposite of him. I'm not a believer of God. I consider myself more agnostic. And I know, with agnostics, with us, we have a hard time believing in things unless if we have the proof in front of us. And that's how my mind works with most things. So what intrigues me to be in this field, too, is when we are experiencing things where I'm even, kind of taken aback, like, what could this be? What could be causing this? It's really, it's really making me think because, if I'm sitting here not having a belief that there is a God, it makes it kind of confusing in the same sense of having a belief that there is an afterlife and spirits. So that's what my mind is, it's like, it's super confusing even for me to begin to understand what to believe and what not to believe.
Right, you're in that gray area.
Yeah, like I want to call myself a believer, but then in the same sense, I do have my moments where I am still kind of on the fence with things.
Yeah.
So I want us to be able to go to more locations, and I want things to happen that will really make me sit there and be like, holy shit, like,
in fact,
this is it.
During our last residential investigation, they got a kick out of it because I was standing in the kitchen and I was like, I'm just starting to believe that ghosts aren't real. Like, this is all just a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Like, 30 seconds later, the REM pod goes off and it's in the room by itself. Like, there's no one in there. There were some guinea pigs, but they were, like, on the floor, like 3 feet away from it. If you know how a REM pod works, you got to be within that far to make the thing light up.
Right.
And, like, I kind of thought maybe the cat, but because there was a cat there.
Okay.
I looked over because I was in the kitchen, and it's like the living room's kind of an extended portion of it. I look over, and the dog and the cat were, like, sitting on the floor right there, and I was like...
Not to mention, that was our team member Carrie's REM pod that she had got, and that was literally the first time she's ever even seen her REM pod go off.
Oh, wow.
She was super happy when it happened. She's like...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It went off, and I was the only one that did not get to see it. Like, I watched right when it stopped. It seemed like whatever made it go off turned it off the moment we actually were, like, right by that door noticing.
Right.
And
so the camera didn't catch it.
Yeah, of course, we didn't have the camera set up yet for it to be able to catch that.
Oh, yeah, that's how it goes. That sucks, too. But
it's so cool. Like that, though. It's just like, and... it helps us start to learn more and teach ourselves how to be better equipped and better prepared for when we go places,
For sure. It's still a learning experience.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of, teams feel the same way,
Mm-hmm.
You all first start off where you might not know what the hell you're doing, and...
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And, you learn from your mistakes, learn what things to do to be better at getting evidence, better, like, video quality, things like that. And that's why I think with us, a lot of it is why we don't, like, we have a YouTube channel, but we don't have a lot of videos right now, is because me and him what makes us very much alike is that we both, in a sense, are like perfectionists. So he doesn't like to post something unless if it's good enough to his liking.
Right.
So, like putting a video together, something that's like a full length like episode for people to watch. You know, he's picky about that. We want to make sure we have something that's worth people sitting and watching.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, because we know we're picky about shows we watch, so we don't want anybody to sit there and click something and be like, man,
you want them to keep coming back.
Yeah, like you want something to keep their interest up and, you know, have good quality. And it's the same with me when it comes to, like, the website. You know, I promise to everybody I'm going to have our website.
You keep saying that on the Facebook. I don't know.
I keep saying it, and I know I've been picky with it. I'm going to add our new team member on there.
Oh, yeah.
Besides that, we're good.
Awesome.
I'm excited for everybody to be able to see it.
For sure.
It's turned out really good. Oh, this is
the other one.
Our boy.
Oh.
We thought she for like pretty much a year, and then we got them at the vet and found out that that's actually a boy.
Yep. Phoebe's a she. He.
Surprise! How fun.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' favorite like piece of equipment? And what do you like to play with the most?
Camera. I like working the camera and, you know, doing different things with it. I mean, just for what we're doing tonight, I set up a whole camera system and everything. So doing it during investigations is I'm actually really excited that our new member bought another camera for us.
Oh, heck yeah.
So now we're going to have 2, 3, 4 cameras be able to run on an investigation.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll have hopefully be able to do 2 statics and, you know, 2 handhelds. And, go from there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What about you, Amanda?
I think for me, like him, I like to be able to use the camera, even though I'm not very tech savvy, so there's a lot of times where I'm still looking at him like, what is this button? Where do I find this? What am I doing?
Right.
But aside from using that, I like to go as basic as just using the EVP recorder. I feel like that's the best device to be able to catch the most authentic piece of evidence.
Okay.
One thing about our team that I feel separates us from a lot of teams is that although we can respect the science and everything behind ITC equipment, it's not really our thing so much. We don't really care for using spirit boxes or any of that. We like to keep it with the old original camera, EVP recorder, your eyes.
Oh, for sure.
Your ears, everything personal. But then if it's not personal and you want other people to see it, obviously you're using devices like a camera and an EVP recorder.
Right.
How would you describe?
How
would you describe like spirit boxes, like in our view, what we think?
If you take an FM radio and just click next really quickly.
Well, that's how I explain it. I mean, I have one, and there's 2 of them that are used throughout, you know, depending on what we're doing. I have one because the crew wanted one, and I just let them do it. You know, we got like 2 of them that religiously use them. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's your baby, that's your baby. You know, so, I mean, that's...
If we didn't have another member at one point that bought one, I probably would have bought one. Because, you know, you see...
And we would have hated it and probably tried to, like, put it off to somebody else.
I always liked them. Watching them on shows and everything, it's like, man, that's so great. But the first time I got to use one, you know, it was like 1 out of every 30 words that you hear might be related to a question that you asked.
Right.
And when you have those other 29 words in there that you know a radio. It's really hard for me to get there on that 1 out of the 30 that is relatable. It's too much of a coincidence.
Right, could be.
Yeah.
That and it's hard to when I say even the EVPs that people post, that that's what it is, but at the same time, it's so hard to make out something.
Yes.
It really is.
That spirit's being muffled, essentially.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it too is, I feel like you're in tune with the spirit box, like you're trying to pick up on things that you want to hear.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
you ask
well, yeah.
question like, oh, how many spirits are here? And then you're just waiting for a number. And if just magically, words and a number comes through, then you're like, oh yeah, that's it. That's what I asked. That's why we don't exactly base evidence off of that necessarily.
Yeah.
And
right.
like to be able to just get the authentic,
now,
voice.
I will say, I have heard some snippets of different teams using a spirit box,
mm-hmm.
where you can plain as day tell that over 16 bandwidths you have almost an entire sentence of the same voice. Now that absolutely, it's compelling evidence.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
But for me to actually just want to whip one out and use it on every investigation for like 20 minutes, it's like I would rather bang my head up against.
Yes, it really is. It's a lot of time and dedication to get one, work with it, learn it, and know what you're actually hearing. Because you guys are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
People almost kind of manifest, yep, that said 7. Well, no, I kind of heard like it said cat, it just.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and then
for
you
sure.
got 3 different people hearing 3 different things, and it does make it hard. But if you got that one person, on the team that has used it for years, that they've done all sorts of different things, because there are people that are good at it, and they'll tell you 99.9% of the time, you're not going to get nothing on that. So it does seem like a waste of time, but some people do have the passion for it.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience. That's my problem.
I think one of the things that I would really like to get, I've seen it on one, I don't even remember what show it was. It looks like a tiny little coffin, but it's a music box.
Mm-hmm.
And it's motion sensitive. It's like the old school music box where you crank it and it's got the wheel with the pins that, pluck.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's motion sensitive. So if you get real close to it and you move, it'll play it. And it'll play the music. I don't know why. I just think it's really cool. The design of it, the way it's activated, and you don't get some eerie like ring 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 alarm. It's like this creepy little music. If you
set the mood
yourself in a haunted house or a mansion or asylum or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pitch black and you just hear that creepy music. A, something triggered it.
Right.
And B, it's creepy music in a dark haunted house. Like, come on, the effect is perfect.
I actually found a website that sells that too. I can't think
of
what it is, but I found it at one point, and it's not cheap. If I remember right, I know it's definitely $200+.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I can agree with him. Using devices like that would be awesome to have something like that go off. My God.
I may try to get some pieces of some things and work some Frankenstein.
Make something.
Yeah. Hey, you do what you got to do.
I might. I'm thinking about it in my head on how it could work, and I think I might.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have like equipment on your wish list? What's like the number one thing? Like if money wasn't an option or whatever.
Thermal camera for me.
Yeah.
I really want a thermal.
Oh God, yes.
I would say SLS, but I think that's it. I think it's a thermal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I just can't get myself to hit the buy button. I'm like,
Yes.
you want it so bad, and
it's so pricey, which sucks. Especially if you want to get, what is it called, the Fleer.
Flare.
One of those.
I don't know.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
$300+, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. We'll get people's opinions that or watch.
Right.
Maybe you tell us getting the Fleur is worth it. Definitely worth it. That's definitely another thing too. Aside from getting a thermal, definitely we want to be able to get a DVR system. And actually going with Prospect, we're actually one of Carrie, our team member, her friend. He's letting us borrow his and seeing like to get that of what he's got. So we're pretty excited for that.
Yes.
To have even more footage to be able to get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
A good time. But, I mean, what's cool, too, is the bed and breakfast place that we're staying at is literally down the street from Prospect Place.
She keeps saying that.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like there's Prospect Place, and very next is the bed and breakfast.
Okay.
Not like over here. It's
Nice. Now, do you guys have any, let's say, wish list locations that, like, again, if money wasn't an option, time wasn't an option, and you could go anywhere to investigate, you had 24 hours to investigate, where would you go?
I would have to go probably somewhere in England or Europe in general.
Yeah.
If I could do like all of Europe in 24 hours, that would be amazing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like Dracula's castle or
Oh gosh, yes.
That would
any
be
of
awesome.
those castles, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. England.
Yeah.
Or
England.
Germany or
What if it's in the U.S.
Pakistan.
though? Because I mean,
In the
that
US.
that's a given. Europe, anywhere in Europe, we would want to go
Yeah,
to.
there's so much history over there. It'd be so insane.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
From before we ever started doing this, I've had my eyes on one location, and it's not far from us, and it's probably not even super expensive. Bobby Mackey's Music World.
Oh yes.
Go there.
I've
Pretty
always
popular one.
watched that. I've wanted to go. And that would have been season 1, episode 1 of Ghost Adventures. So, what, like 10 years ago now?
Well, yeah. You guys have to plan a trip.
For me, I really just want to be able to go to any type of asylum. Like, my interest is, that's the top. I'm thinking probably my goal by next year, aside from, Waverly Hills, I want to go to Hearst.
Okay, yeah.
Another big one that I want to go to, because, I mean, I don't know, even, it's like the thought of the fact that there was once the living there that weren't really, like, in a normal state of mind.
Right.
And their past and their spirits, and they have that state of mind. It's a very creepy thought, and
Yes.
I want to be creeped out. I want to go outside of my bubble when I'm going someplace. I want to push myself to be by myself and ask questions and see what happens, see what I can pick up, I don't know, just everything about, like, an asylum type of setting. That's what I want to do. If I'm not going to Europe, going to a castle anytime soon, I'll go to an asylum.
Yeah. You sell a lot of shirts to go to Europe.
Yeah.
Yes.
The funny part, too, is, like, on our group, we've got people that are from Europe, and I've crossed ones that are more fascinated with all of what we have here in the U.S. They think that our stuff is more interesting, and I'm like, do you guys step outside and just look around? Like, everything where you're at is, like, super gorgeous and just fascinating and so full of history. I would love it, never want to come back.
Even if I wasn't in the paranormal stuff, it would still just be so cool to go over there and see the castles, and it's amazing.
Sure. I know. Whew. Yeah.
They don't know how lucky they have it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd say China would probably have a lot of really great too.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know what the hell I was talking to or how to talk to them, but I mean,
they probably wouldn't understand us either. We'd have to learn their language.
That was actually a question I had on the podcast, because I have a lot of thinking time at work, and it was, let's say we went to Mexico, and we're like, hey, who's here with us? How would we know what they're saying? Like they're just not going to come at us speaking English if they didn't speak English, when they were here.
Yeah, they might be sitting there trying to listen to us, but they're like, what?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, maybe that's where, like, the mad ghosts come from, and they're throwing books at your head, or they're pulling the hair because they can't talk to you through, the EVPs or something. That was just a thought I had. What'd you say?
I said, no hablo English.
Exactly. What? Huh?
I would actually be pretty curious in that myself, on is language a barrier?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Just being that language, in all reality, is a man-made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not it's something that's learned through generations. It's not something you're born with, because otherwise babies would be coming out like, God, I can't breathe, you know?
Yeah, yes.
So it almost kind of makes me wonder if there's a similar to the days of the Tower of Babel. You know, everybody spoke in tongues at the time, but it was really like an angelic language.
Right.
And sorry, I'm getting into like some Bible history here. I don't mean to be going down that road, but you know, it just makes me wonder if there is some angelic language or a spiritual realm language, or you know, are there, you know, two spirits that maybe come across each other and like been living by each other for 200 years, but they don't know what each other is saying.
Yeah.
You know, like the Battle of the Alamo, you know, you had you know, Texans fighting, you know, the Mexican army. You know, obviously one of each at least died, so they're like in the same area and like can't even talk to each other, or what? Like,
right.
Part of how my crazy brain works, I guess.
Can you imagine if they're all dead and they're stuck being around each other? They're probably going to learn each other's language, you'd think, maybe.
Or just get mad and fight like ghosts do.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yelling at each other, cursing at each other in different languages.
Think about that. To catch more than one spirit, but they're like arguing with each other.
Yes. Like, what is going on?
We had actually an investigation at Three Rivers Distillery here in Fort Wayne, and Carrie was telling us, and in fact the manager and the general manager were telling us that a lot of times you can hear two people arguing in a part of the brewery. And we did some searching back, and you know, we discovered that it used to be a bakery at the turn of the century. The last century, not this one. And there was kind of rumors of, I'm trying to go back in my memory, of the owner and like a janitor, custodian.
Yeah.
Kind of didn't necessarily get along, but it's just kind of side topic that I thought of.
Yeah, and I mean,
she had mentioned that you know, they could hear them arguing and stuff like that. So
yeah, like we all, you know, we were kind of doing a walkthrough, and with Carrie being our psychic medium, you know, she was picking up on a certain area in the back area where, you know, the distilling was, and she said that she actually was picking up on like two guys in that area that were like arguing, and I mean that's interesting, you know. It's especially intriguing when you have a medium on because they get to see and hear things that we're never going to be able to have that ability for. So
exactly.
It's awesome when, you know, she goes places with us, and we're, you know, if we go in there completely clueless, she picks up on stuff, and it makes it all that much more interesting to hear things. And the awesome thing about Carrie too is that she does not like to know anything about the places she's going to. She doesn't want to know the history. She doesn't want to know the names of any of these people that may have passed there. She wants to pick it all up on her own. And we may, on the opposite end, find out history and names before she does, and then we can all like together at some point and see if there's a match. And you know, she's pretty spot on with a lot of the stuff that she picks up on. She's definitely proven herself a lot to be a legit medium, because personally with us, like, we know there's a lot of fakes out there, and pretend they're something they're not.
Now, I see you guys have an upcoming investigation with Great Lakes Ghost Hunters.
Yes,
at
for
the
sure.
Monroe House.
Oh yes.
We are. We got invited as guests to go there. Their team is going to be going in October. Carrie is actually part of that team also, because she's part of, I think, 3 different teams aside from ours, I believe. I lost track. But yeah, we got invited to go, and it's a really awesome opportunity. I know it hasn't been the easiest to get a spot to go in there. We're hoping at least by next year our team will be able to go there.
Awesome.
But now, you know, we'll have the experience. I have to work the next morning, so we're not going to be there all night. It's pretty much going to be 6 p.m. to like 11 p.m. or something.
Right.
But with how active that place seems to be for so many teams that go there, I have no doubts that we're going to have
get something,
stuff,
right?
Yeah, to get something while being there. So yeah, we're excited for sure, and we think it's pretty awesome to be able to get to know other teams and coordinate things to meet other team members and do investigations together. We definitely have different teams in mind aside from going with them to meet up with.
Right.
You know, it's nice. It's nice to be able to have that pair of unity,
Yes.
and to be humble and helpful and.
Well, why not? We're all going out there doing the same thing.
Yeah,
Like,
we just
may have our different ways, but.
Yeah, it's like, unfortunately, we know in this field there are some people out there that have a big head, and I don't know if they just think they're better than everybody, going to get famous, or what the deal is.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, some of them just
talking about
have egos, and
yes.
we want to make a point to not be that way. You know,
Right,
we want
for
to be able to show support to everybody, you know. Because, hell, you'll get some people out there, you know, where you're nice enough to just kind of tell them, hey, you know, follow my group, you know, if you don't mind or whatever. And
Yeah.
I make a point like, hey, even though I'm saying that to you, like, I'll support you too, you know.
Right, for sure.
Your week, I'll do it right back and I'll stick to it. I won't be on there for like a week and then let go of your group and just leave it so that way you're mine but I'm not on yours. Like, I don't work that way. And unfortunately, I feel like there are people that do tend to.
Sure.
Usually I try to boot those people off of my personal page. And okay, you're not going to do that, then yeah, do the same thing back. So, yeah, we want to be able to show support back for people that are supporting us, and, you know, we really appreciate the people that do, for sure.
Do you guys have any advice for, I know you guys are still newer, but, like, what's your one piece of advice for, let's say, somebody that was thinking about starting a group?
Start with a recorder.
Fair enough.
Recorder, some friends.
Some friends. You gotta have friends?
Friends.
I started out
Just
wrong.
for the friends that definitely don't lie, don't backstab you, don't cause drama within the group, you know. Hey.
I'm not sure those would be friends. I think you might have to find strangers.
We have team members now. But, yeah, I think that's very important when you do put a team together, is for everybody to be honest and communicate, give suggestions, just be honest with each other. Don't talk behind each other's backs, you know. And obviously, like I said, you know, it's important to not pretend you're something that you're not.
Yes.
I am
never in any aspect of life.
I'm an empath, I am a sensitive, I'm a psychic. I'm never going to be saying any of those things because I know I don't have those abilities. Mm-hmm. Carrie has let us know, you know, the more you do this, even when you don't have those abilities, you naturally will become a little bit more sensitive to environment.
You're opening up.
And I can see that happening for us, maybe. Not sure about him. He's dead wherever he goes.
I'm dead inside.
Oh, that's so sad.
You don't want somebody to cloud your evidence or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Right, you need to work together as a team. And
for sure. And
come up with legit shit.
Oh, yeah. My other piece of advice, don't do it to get famous.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out. Bye, guys. I'm just kidding.
Kidding. It's more of like it's science. Science. In all reality, it is science. We have questions. Mm-hmm. And what scientists have are questions, and they just have a different, their questions are just completely unrelated. And some other scientists, obviously, parapsychologists and stuff like that, they're looking at this stuff, but.
I know when I've been asked why I wanted to start a group, I said, well, I've been interested, but I'm doing it for a hobby. Because that's a passion. You got a passion for something when you're doing it as a hobby versus, I'm going to get rich and famous. No, you're not.
Now, if I get the opportunity to get rich doing it, obviously.
Yeah, who would turn
duh.
My job is just like mind-numbing and back-killing. So, if somebody just offer me my yearly salary to go hunt ghosts, then I'm not an idiot.
Yeah. Just don't lose your passion doing it, that's all.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. It takes a lot of, effort, time, dedication to be in this field. And, you got to have the right mindset for it. And, you can't let it get to your head or anything. And I don't know. I feel like it's definitely not something for everybody.
Oh, that's for
I'm
sure.
sure there's people that will discover that, where they get into teams or just get into the field and try it out and they realize it's not really their thing.
They notice they're scared of the dark, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm scared of the dark, too. When we go to the bed, we just talked about that the other night.
Yes, we did.
I'm running to the bed and jumping on the bed. I don't want anything under my bed, grabbing my feet.
Feet, yes. I've been scared ever since was it Paranormal Activity, when they, in that movie, and they yanked her out of the bed. That's been ever since. That is in the back of my mind. I'm like, oh my God, there's something down there. My dog is so lazy. She would just sleep through it, like anything trying to get me. So I'm like, well, I can't count on you. Oh, yeah.
You know what one of my fears is, which he's actually discovered that because I had him watch the movie with me finally. Hellraiser. Have you watched the Hellraiser movies?
Oh.
Like the original Hellraiser. I think it was the very first.
It's been a long time.
With Pinhead and all them other creepy characters.
Crawling.
Yeah, there's a movie that I think it was the first one actually. There's a man that is actually his body's growing on the attic flooring, but in order for his body to kind of mold into a man again, he has to kill and like eat people. And this woman that's in the house is actually bringing different men in there to help him kill them and stuff. Well,
right.
There's this one part in the movie that just when I was younger, it absolutely terrified me. And it was just this part where, the man, he can't, like, stand up yet. He's still kind of a skeleton, and he kind of just has to crawl across the flooring. There's a part where she walks into the attic and opens up the door, and he comes out of nowhere, out of the corner, and he just starts crawling really fast on the floor. I freaking screamed and about cried when I first watched that. And my brother used to mess with me, and he'd be down the hallway in the dark, and he'd come crawling at me like that. So I don't like things that crawl. I can't watch anything that has something that's crawling, even if I know it's just not even a realistic movie whatsoever. If I see something crawling, I cover up my eyes. And so I think the same thing in the dark when I'm about to go to bed. I'm turning that light off for some reason. My mind immediately is like, what is there something crawling out from her closet?
Yes. You're not alone. You're not alone.
I just want to talk about mine.
Of course.
Come on.
Oh,
I hate clowns.
I was just gonna ask about dolls.
Oh no, dolls don't freak me out. Clowns.
Like real life clowns. Not. What about clown dolls? I'm not sure why that was hard to say, but it was.
Yeah, I'll pass on the clown dolls too. No thanks.
They don't scare me. They look stupid.
I'm not gonna scream in terror if I see a clown, but I mean if it spooks me, if it jumps out at me,
right?
I just punch it in the face.
Well, yeah.
My natural reaction. I've told her, I'm like, please, for the love of God, do not try to scare me with a clown mask because I will break your nose. And, I will be terrible about it, but this is my natural reaction. I'm warning you, don't do it. I don't want to hurt it.
Yes. Don't blame you. Yeah, clowns. There's really no need for clowns. They're really not that funny.
No, they're evil. They're just,
I guess that means you don't want to go to the clown motel?
No, I would hard pass on that one.
Have you seen that with Ghost?
I have.
Where they went there?
Yes.
Yeah, we watched that episode actually, and there was a part with the clown that was sitting there, and his arm just shifted when Zach was standing there, and he cringed so much when he watched that part.
He's like, turn it off. Oh my gosh, yeah. I know it's spiritual and everything is my stepmom. She's my partner, but she's a medium as well. Mm-hmm. Dolls are her thing. She cannot do just can't. And I'm like, why? There's just can't.
My mom's like that.
So I used to collect porcelain dolls when I was
my daughter's actually like that too. She's not one of those kids that wants any baby doll or any doll really, period. She can deal with Barbies and stuff.
Yeah.
But she can't do dolls. Ever since she was a baby, if she saw any type of baby doll or something, she would scream and cry. And she'd be terrified. She'd climb all over you by the time she was a toddler just to be away from the doll.
So we probably trying to figure out why it's not moving like a human.
Yeah.
Right. My mom always used to tell us she watched this movie I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, say late 70s, maybe early 80s. I don't know what the name of the movie is. But there's this movie where the porcelain dolls, like, are the horror movie. I don't know if they're killing people or just, like, scaring people. I don't know what's going on. But she said you could hear them, like, you know, in the scene it would be, like, dark. You can't see them, but you could see the person, like, looking around, and you'd hear the pitter-patter,
Yes,
like,
the little feet.
porcelain doll feet on the floor. And we used to mess with her. Growing up, we'd be, like doing that, and she'd be like, "Stop it!"
I have a brother that's
dolls,
like,
and I would like try to freak her out with those.
oh yeah, you have to. Once you find out somebody doesn't like dolls, it's just I may be evil, but I have to mess with people too. I had about 30 porcelain dolls when I was little. It's probably about 10, which would have made my older brother 11. He hated them. He broke so many of my dolls. Always so mad. He was a jerk. But so he'd always go to bed like super early, and then like during the summer his friends and stuff would come over, and so we'd get some fishing line, tie it around the doll's neck, tie it up on his light in his room. We'd wake him up, turn the light on and off, and oh my God. Oh, I hate you. I'd be grounded for like a week, but it was priceless and totally worth getting grounded for. It was great. He hated me for that. I had fun.
I think really, you know, when it comes to going to, you know, haunted places, probably, I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, probably the first time I see like an apparition or something and it throws me off, I might scream like a bitch and freak the first time. I might react, different than I thought. Who knows? But I guarantee, though, if you're hearing me scream somewhere and running real quick, it's probably because I saw a spider somewhere. It's bound to happen. These places,
right.
You know, bound in there, you know, with open windows and everything in these basements. It's probably going to happen when we go to Prospect.
No, bugs, I'm alright. Dark, I'm okay. I think.
Well, what about bugs and the dark?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine.
It's just bugs. Unless it's poisonous, I mean, that would suck, but. Yeah, no. I mean, I have a snake. He's over there. Yeah, it's over
I'm
there.
a
Does he snuggle?
Huh?
Does he snuggle?
No, it bites.
Oh.
Yeah, he's kind of an ass.
I don't mess with them.
But it's almost 10 years old now, and
wow.
I got it was like just this big, and now it's like 4 foot long. So.
Oh wow! I got a cousin that's really into snakes and stuff. That's
There's
neat.
a dragon too.
Oh, okay.
We got a lot of pets.
I was gonna say, yeah.
2 ferrets, 2 cats, bearded dragon, snake.